Can you please introduce yourself?
Yes. Hello, teacher. I'm Quang Minh, and I'm 15 years old. I'm from Kiến Hưng, Hà Đông, Hà Nội.
Fantastic. Thank you. So this is your speaking test. I'll take you through it. There's part 1, 2, and 3. For part 1, we'll just talk about general topics. Number 2, you'll have 1 minute to prepare for a speaking topic, which you will talk about for 4 to 5 minutes.
Yes.
And the last part, we will have a discussion that extends on part 2. Okay, are you ready?
Yes.
So to start with part 1, we're going to talk about history. So, do you enjoy learning about history at school?
Not so much.
Can you tell me why?
Because learning history at school is boring. Because the teacher teach me is just teach me in the book that I have read it.
So always great being taught out of the book. How can your teacher improve?
For the teacher will show the picture and the topic first. So he will talk about this topic and introduce this picture. He will begin the lessons.
Alright, cool. Let's stop there. How often do you watch TV programs or movies about history?
I think it's rare, really.
Can you tell me why?
Because I don't know many programs about history. Also, even there's not much history that like document or history movie that is shown in a popular program like VTV or VTV.
Do you think that is the internet a good place to learn about history?
And I think it's just because internet is has most of information we needed, so we can search them to know that information we need.
Thank you. Is there a historical event or a person you would like to learn more about?
And I think it's the worldwide history, most like in the World War II, because I don't learn this topic so much, or in history, war is very interesting.
Very good. What we're going to do now is we're going to move to part 2. For part 2, you have a pen and paper. You will write down some keynotes to help you plan what you're going to say. All right. And for part 2, where did it go? Give me a second. Part 2, right. For part 2, you are going to discuss boredom. Boredom. So, for this section, I need you to describe a time you were bored when you were with other people and felt bored. You should say where you were, who you were with, what you were doing, and explain why you felt so bored. Alright, you understand? Your minute begins now. Right, thank you very much. There we go. You may begin. Your 5 minutes, your 4 to 5 minutes begins now.
Okay, I will tell you about the time that when I were with other people and I felt bored, and it's the time I watched television with my family at home, and it's about a football match with Vietnam and Laos. Firstly, I really like football, and also I keen on watching football match TV because I can see all of you the field and how this match begin and flow. Or but this match is so boring because Vietnam is winning, so it's one was one so easy and 6-0 and in the first half of match we win about 3 or 4-0, so I fell asleep because that is loud plays so bad, and in the second half, I said in the last half, I suppose so I go to my and I went to my room and went to sleep. Okay.
Who else felt the same way you did?
All my members in my family.
Oh, so you mentioned you went to bed. What did they do?
They went to they watched the match until the end, but their comment is the match so boring.
Fantastic. All right, what we're going to do is we're going to move to the next part. All right, so for this next part, what we're going to do is we're going to expand. So, we're going to, maybe you can suggest some ways that young children could do if they were bored.
If young people were too bored, they can do some activities that they like, such as playing games or reading a book. The favorite his favorite book or go outside and like outdoor exercise to
Instead of children being handed a cell phone to fight boredom, what other activities could parents give children instead of cell phones?
they can give the outdoor activity or mostly sport like football, basketball, badminton or anything else. And if they can play with other people, they can play with other people or, they can prepare for the local exercise with member family like yoga or dancing.
All right. I want you to share your ideas. Has technology made life less boring?
I I think it's not so much because in the past the pupil can find some many way to break the boring like in like the tradition in Vietnam. As my parents said, uh, they play football with the vegetable or tones like or they can swim in the lake or and swim in a lake or a pool.
All right. Thank you very much. That is the end of our speaking test. You can